أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا حبيب إله العالمين أبا القاسم مصطفى محمد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد وعجل فرجهم. Hello everyone, welcome to the first week of the second level of Tadabbur and the Qur'an. I'm so happy to start this new semester. This is our second level. Some of you were with us at the first level, some of you not. So I'm so happy that we have our new friends now. And I'm so happy to meet our friends from the first level again. In this week, we are gonna have a quick review about the agenda, about the discourse, and about Tadabbur and stuff like this. And then we will have some verses of chapter 73, Surah Al-Muzammil, verses 1 to 14. This is a almost longer than the other chapter that we had before, so we cannot cover it in 1 week. We will probably need 3 weeks to cover the whole chapter. Today we're going to have only verses 1 to 14. And I'm happy to start this class today. Today is a great day for us. This is a celebration. This is the, actually tomorrow is the birthday of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. If you are Muslim or not, if you are Shia or Sunni, if you do believe in him as a Imam and a religious leader, if you do not believe in him as a religious leader and as a Imam, I invite all of you to have a review on his life and to study about his life, especially about his movement, to be familiar with him. And I am sure if you do a study about him, you will know him at least as a hero, as a person who stood for justice and he sacrificed his life in the path of God. Even if you are not Muslim, even if you are not Shia, even if you don't believe in him as an Imam, please do some study about him. And I'm so happy for starting our class today. As I mentioned this, I want to uh, talk about this part also, that in this class is not specific for a group of Muslim or a group of people or a group of religion. This class is open for everyone, for Muslim, non-Muslim, Shia, Sunni. This is only studying Quran. We do not go through comparing the different religions. And this is just studying Quran, going through verses one by one, trying to understand the main concept of each chapter. This is the target of Tadabbur, and it's different from tafsir. We will be familiar with it. I will explain what is Tadabbur, what is the difference between Tadabbur and tafsir, and where did this concept come from, who invented Tadabbur. Is it mentioned in Quran or not? Did the Prophet suggest people to do tadabbur on the Quran or not? Or just some people invented this word and said, okay, tadabbur on the Quran. This is a new approach to study the Quran. I will go through all of these things, but not all of them today in this week. Because all of those fundamentals of tadabbur needs like more than 3 hours continuous talking, and I don't want to bother you. We're just continuously talking about the fundamentals and all of those explanation and definition and stuff like that. I prefer to have like 10-15 minutes at the beginning of each class talking about different aspects of the Tadabbur approach and introduce it for you, mention those verses in Quran which is talking about Tadabbur, and we will have a review on the quotes which we have from the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that he suggested people to do Tadabbur on the Quran. We will have these things in like short seasons, 10-15 minutes in each week, and then we will go to read a part of chapter or a whole chapter in each week. So let's start the introduction part. Actually, we are in the second level, as I already said. We had totally 6 levels, which are actually Hizb al-Mufassal, chapter 47 to the end of the Quran. This is famous as Hizbul Mufassal. We divided it into 6 levels. We had the first level before, which was chapters 84 to 114. If you attended that class now, you have access to all of those files and stuff like that. If you were not in the first level, you don't need to be worried about it. You have access to all of those files and recordings. We have channels in YouTube and Apparat. I can send you the link to those chapters and you can watch all of those videos. But my suggestion is do not start watching those videos, all of them together. I prefer to go to those chapters based on what you need. And I usually suggest you each of those chapter after each of our class. For example, after this class today, I will send you an email for a chapter which is more related to the concept of that week. Then you can go to that chapter. I think this is the best way that you can handle both levels together, first level and second level together. And in this way, it wouldn't be heavy for you. You wouldn't be tired of it. And you will find similar chapters and you will learn them much better. But in case you like to go through all of those chapters like in 2, 3 weeks, it's up to you. If you like to do that, I will send you the link to all of them and you can watch them all together. So what is these 6 levels and why did we choose these 6 levels? Actually, these chapters that I mentioned, they are famous as Hizbul Mufassal. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he named it as Hizbul Mufassal. He divided the Quran into 4 parts. The last part, which is Hizbul Mufassal, is chapters 47 to the end of the Quran. And he said that if you want to teach people the Holy Quran, start from these chapters. And that is a suggestion from him. So we wanted to go to this path because of his suggestion. There are some quotes, some hadiths from him. And because of the sunnah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we want to have these 6 levels. But we started from the last part of it. The first level is actually the 6th part of these Hizbul Mufassal. The another reason is because of those fundamental concepts which are covered in these chapters. These chapters actually have the most fundamental concepts of Islam and Quran in it. And learning those things is really necessary for those people who want to learn Quran and know more about Islam. The other reason is these chapters are really easy to learn compared to those longer chapters which are at the beginning of the Quran. Those are really long, complicated concepts, full of many laws, and those are heavier and more difficult to learn. These chapters are easier, they are short, and we can learn it much easier. And the next point about the agenda, as I already explained, that we will have fundamentals of Tadabbur, but we do not have all of them together in 1 through 3 week. We are gonna have like 10-15 minutes at the beginning of each week, and then we will go through one chapter or some verses of a chapter. If that chapter is short, we can cover it in 1 week. If it's long, we will divide it into 2-3 weeks. Each week will be like 45-60 minutes. We usually have 60 minutes, 1 hour. Sometimes if you have more question, you can stand in the class and ask your question. After that I finished my explanation, you are free to leave the class. But if you are interested to hear the questions from your classmate, you can stay and listen to this kind of questions. Actually, this level would be 24 weeks, 2 semesters, and 12 weeks per each semester. After the first semester, we're going to have 2 weeks break, and then we will start the second semester to cover the other part of the second level. As I mentioned, the recordings and slides will be available for you after each class. I do the recording. Many of you send email and ask me that what if we cannot attend the class and stuff like this. We do the recording, and the slides and recordings will be available for you after each class. But I personally prefer you to be online in the class. Then you can ask your question, because sometimes I stop recording to give more comfort to students to ask their questions. So those parts are not recorded. And if you are in the class, you can ask your question. You can be more active and you can learn much better. In case you cannot attend the online class, then you can watch the recording. The last point that I want to talk about it in this part is about having a weekly meeting with your classmates. This is not a must in this class. Totally nothing is must in this class. You registered in this class because you liked it and you wanted to be in this class. Nobody forced you. So this weekly meeting is also something optional. If you like to have it, let me know. And it's very important for your learning. It helps you to learn much better. And this is not something official. Nobody asking you any question or stuff like this in this weekly meeting. You can gather around online or in person with your friends and review those verses that we talked in the class. For example, if it's Saturday today, we are going to have some verses of Surah Al-Muzammil. You can review it with your friends, like in Wednesday. One of you can explain 3 verses of it, and the other one can explain the other verses for you and stuff like this. When you are explaining those verses for each other, you can learn it much better, and it's a really good method of learning those stuff. If you just attend this class, I tell you that you will forget it in a really short time. You can understand what I am talking about, but you will forget it because you don't have any review, you are not explaining it for anyone, and these things. If you know if you have some friends in this class, you can schedule a time together and let me know. One of you send me email and let me know this is the names of my friends, and we are gonna have a group together, 4, 5, 6, even 10. Together, we are gonna have a meeting and we are gonna review it together. If you don't know anyone in this group, in this class, send me an email, then I can add you to one of these group to have this kind of a meeting and discussion with your friends. The next part, I think I already covered this part. At the first week, we are going to have an introduction and some verses of the Surah Al-Muzammil. The book is not ready yet, unfortunately. The translation is ready. It should be edited. I think it cannot be ready even by the middle of this course, probably by the end of this course. In this actually 2 semesters, the book will be ready. We will try our best to prepare it, but I think it wouldn't be ready by that time. But any interpretation or any translation that is available for you, you can read it. I do have some suggestion. I will send you the link to some of those books and interpretations. You can use them. You can have some review on the chapter or verses that we are going to have like next week to have a better understanding about it. Then when I am explaining it in the class, you can understand it much easier. And if you have any question, you can ask your question. You can, for example, ask why that interpretation said something else, or the other translation said something else, and now you are saying something which is not similar to that translation, and stuff like this. Any book, any translation which is easy for you, you can read it before the class. The next important thing is keep reading and reciting the Quran. I suggest you to do reciting for each of these chapters that you are learning here and also the other chapters. Attending a class is just helping you to understand the translation of those chapters, and it's actually working in your mind. This is related to your ideology. If you want to be connected through your heart to those chapters, keep reading and reciting the Quran. Attending a class and having the scientific study about Quran is really good, highly recommended, but it's not enough. You have to repeat it and you have to be connected with them through your heart. There are many other things that I have to talk about this. I just put some dot, 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 because I'm going to talk about it in our future classes, especially about the fundamentals of Tadabbur. I'm not going to talk about it at all today because we're going to have 14 verses that it needs a really long time to go through it. So I'm going to stop the recording in this part. And if you have any question, please ask your